Howdy, everyone. Tad Stevens on the Micro Success Secrets podcast, where we focus on business psychology and marketing and how you can use that in your business daily and long term. Today, I'm talking with Michael Neuendorff, who is a professional coach, consultant, and trainer. He works with businesses and individuals across the country and focuses his energy on raising sales for business owners and salespeople. You can find him on YouTube by searching for his name, and we'll make sure that we put a link to that channel, to his channel, in the show notes. So, Michael, great to have you on the show, and let me know anything I missed.
It's a pleasure to be here with you, Tad. That is certainly an area of specialty. I also work on leadership development and team performance.
Okay, super. All right, so let's get started. We're going to pretend like that if you could go back into a time machine, go back in time, and you had one business or life decision that you could change, and you've wanted to, or you thought about it. First off, do you have one of those? And if you could go back, would you change it? And if you would change it, what would you change it to?
That's an interesting question, Tad, because I've thought about that many times, actually. And the one decision that I might make differently is when I started in business, because I've been doing coaching now for almost 13 years. I started in 2008, and I left my good corporate job right in the beginning of the mother of all recessions.
Yep.
And it wasn't the best time to start a coaching and consulting business.
I laugh because I remember that. I was there. I know.
Yeah. So if I could change it and keep my cushy corporate job for a few more years with the benefits and the opportunities, I might do that. But then I've also read that sometimes the best businesses are started in the most difficult of times. So that's why maybe even if I had the chance, I wouldn't.
Okay. Yeah. And we get that a lot, or that answer I hear a lot. I mean, just because it's an experience. And like you said, some of the best businesses have started in down times and down economic cycles. So if you could go back in the time machine again and you could look at one decision that turned out just super positive, I mean, you can divide your memory for, you remember everything as it was before that and everything it was after that. Do you have one of those that you'd share?
I do. That one actually is pretty simple. And it goes back a little bit earlier. There was a time when I thought I wanted to get an MBA. And I did not want to take the test. I think it's called the GMAT that you have to take
yes.
to qualify for an MBA program. And I wanted to find an easier way to get into an MBA program. So I discovered that if you enroll in an MBA program from an overseas university, you do not have to take the GMAT. So I actually enrolled in a distance learning program with Heriot-Watt University in Edinburgh, Scotland. And I started taking MBA courses, correspondence through the mail. I would get the course in the mail. This obviously predates, all the social media and online learning that we have today.
I was going to ask, you mean the real mail? You mean stuff that comes in your post box and stuff?
You'd get a big binder and you'd go through it and you'd study the whole course on your own, basically taking a whole semester course on your own. And then you would take one final exam at a testing site in Oakland, California afterwards. And I did that, and I got through about 4 or 5 classes towards the program. And then I got to the hard stuff, the classes that I didn't really like, didn't really want to study. And I came to a decision point. Do I want to push through this difficult process ahead, or do I want to do something else?
Right.
I decided at that time that I thought I could greatly improve my communication skills. And I decided that I would rather pursue something like a master's in communication skills versus an MBA. And so I quit the program, and I ended up going through Dale Carnegie, Toastmasters, and many other public speaking improvement programs to greatly increase my communication skills. And I've been studying public speaking for about 20 years. I went through the Bill Gove Speech Workshop with Steve Siebold and learned under Patricia Fripp, the first female president of the National Speakers Association.
Yep.
And I've come a long way. I wouldn't be here doing this podcast with you, Tad, if I didn't decide to shift directions and focus on improving my communication and public speaking skills.
Okay. That is a great answer. And this next question kind of relates to that, or could relate to that. It does sometimes. Is if you could go back again and you could look at one decision that was the scariest, what do you think that would be?
Well, it actually relates to my first answer.
That's why I said sometimes it does. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was looking at leaving my corporate job and going into business for myself, my wife and I decided that we would pursue a franchise
Okay.
because we felt that a franchise might be a little safer step into the world of
Hmm.
business ownership versus just hanging out your shingle.
Sure.
So I started looking at franchises, and it was still scary. When I was talking to the franchise sales consultant, she could tell that I had a lot of trepidation around this decision. And she said, well, do you think you could do it part-time? And I thought, no, I don't think so. I've tried part-time businesses before and I haven't done very well. And I think I need to go all in if I'm going to do this. I need to do all or nothing. I'm going to quit my
Hmm.
job and give it 100% so that I will never look back and regret and wonder, well, did it not succeed because I went at it part-time, like other business ventures that I had tried and failed at?
Yep.
And so it was pretty scary. You layer that on top of the economic times in 2008, and you can understand why it was a pretty scary decision.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So being entrepreneurs, I mean, we come across decisions like that all the time.
Yeah.
And when you come up to a decision like that, like the MBA versus the communications, the franchise versus or jumping full time or not jumping full time, when you come across those or even smaller decisions, do you have a way that you analyze and you go about making those decisions to either get unstuck or keep from getting stuck that you could share?
Well, first you need to know a little bit about me and how I make big decisions.
Okay.
And that is that I take my time. There was a book written by David Epstein called Range. And there was another book written by the former publisher or editor of Forbes, Rich Karlgaard,
Hmm.
and it was called Late Bloomers. Late Bloomers described who I am in terms of making decisions later than other people make them and taking more time.
Hmm.
So when I started my own out in business for myself, I was already in my 40s. When I got married, I was already in my 30s.
All right.
When I graduated from school, it took me a little bit longer than it takes some other people because I picked 3 different majors before I finally settled on
and,
the one
and
that I wanted to pursue.
and I laugh there because I am exactly that person. I can't tell you how many. Well, anyway, we please continue.
Yeah,
We're not talking about me.
yeah. This is why we're connecting well here, Dad, because we can relate on a few things here. And so I am a late bloomer, and it takes me a while to make a big decision. I thought about going to business for myself for almost 6 years before I finally quit my job and did it.
Hmm.
And the reason that I brought up the book Range is because I like to have a variety of inputs and outputs in my world in order to feel like I am offering the greatest value. And so that's why in the introduction, you said I focus on working with salespeople. I do a lot of sales coaching and training, and that's true. But I also help people with public speaking coaching. I also work with leaders to be better leaders.
Hmm.
I also work with teams to work better together. And therefore, I'm not a specialist as some people are. And in the book Range, he describes the fact that there are people like that. So when it comes to making a decision, I think about, okay, is this a good plan B for me in that if I make this decision, does it give me more opportunities later? Is it something that complements what I feel I'm good at and like to do and maybe worth something in the marketplace?
Hmm.
And is it high or low stakes? If it's a high stakes decision, I'm going to take my time making it. If it's a low stakes decision, then it depends on the answers to the first few
Hmm.
questions, whether I make it or not. So I do have a process. I'm fairly deliberate about making decisions, but it depends on the stakes whether they're made fast or slow.
Understand and just to maybe relate a little more, we were talking about multiple degree plans or multiple majors. Uh, my first year college student son comes to us the other night and says, I want to change majors. It's first year. And so, okay, what do you want to change majors to? And he told us, and we said, okay, great. He goes, you're not mad? I go, no. Why would I be? I mean, he said, but I've taken classes that I can't use. I go, yeah, but now you know, right?
Mhm.
He goes, yeah. I said, okay, so lesson learned. It was worth it. So I'm totally with you on that.
Well,
That is the way I've approached it, and I found a lot of value in it as well.
yeah. Well, hopefully he's not as bad as me and he changes again.
Oh
Because
God, I did not me either. I mean, I can't. Well, anyway, we won't go there. But
right,
yeah.
right.
So okay, Great answers, Michael. Really appreciate that. So to wrap up a little bit here, and this is going to kind of be a shift, is maybe hopefully to get to know you, so listeners of yours get to know you more personally, is what do you want out of your business in your life? Or are they related? Or why do you get up in the morning and go do what you do? Because at the end of the day, I've found that it's more than just money. Yeah, there's a money component. There always is, or most of the time there is. But what are you passionate about? What gets you out of bed in the morning?
When you live in Northern California, Tad, money has to be a part of the equation.
I laugh, but no, I understand. I totally understand that.
Zig Ziglar said many years ago, money isn't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen. So there is something to that, right? I mean, I chose a business that I thought I could make a living at. That it's one thing to be passionate about a topic. It's also a great thing to be able to make money at it, because there are things that we are passionate about that may not have value in the marketplace.
Right.
So that was certainly a decision factor in deciding to go into business for myself. But there is a passionate element that when it comes to waking up in the morning on any given day and being excited, I love helping other people improve their professional lives. Right? I'm a business coach. I focus on people's professional lives. I do not help people stop smoking, lose weight, change their life habits unless it's affecting their professional success. There may sometimes be a personal component involved in changing their professional life to be more successful. And I realized this back in 1998 when I went through the Dale Carnegie signature program, which is at that time was a 12-week program. And during that program, I had a breakthrough for my own professional life. I got over my fear of public speaking, right? And that's what kind of got me started.
Yep.
And I also realized I really like this. This whole idea of a group of people being dedicated to improving their lives. I wonder if I could do this for a living. I talked to the instructor after class one night, and she said, "It's just pin money, Michael." And she was trying to tell me, for people that are younger and don't understand what that means, it's referring to bowling. Pin money means it's just money for bowling on the side. I know bowling is not as popular now as it once was.
Right. But
term to suggest that you might want to be careful because it's pin money. But as I looked further into it, I realized if I focus on the business side, there are large companies who are more than willing to invest in improving the professional lives of their employees, to retain them, help them be better leaders, better salespeople, better communicators. There's a lot of money in the corporate training and development industry. So that's why I focus on professional as opposed to personal.
Excellent answers. And I love the Zig Ziglar quote. I'm a big Zig fan. And I remember that quote from way back, but I had forgotten it. So I got to go look at that one again, because I love that.
Yeah.
So Michael, really appreciate your time. Really appreciate your sharing. We're going to wrap up now. Is there anything that you'd like to close with? Anything that you want to offer the listeners and viewers that might benefit them?
Sure. Two things. One is that you referenced my YouTube channel earlier in the show. I have over 100 videos on my YouTube channel for Build and Balance. I also have a secondary YouTube channel for Bay Area Executive Coach, which is another business that I own to help people who would like to actually become coaches like myself. Okay. All of those videos are free of charge. I don't hold anything back. I give everything out on my channel to help people. It's the same information that I give to paying clients. It's just you can't ask me questions about it afterwards, right? You can't be held accountable by me afterwards.
Right.
You can't check in with me during the week and send me an email or a text, but it's really great content. So I have that to offer. And secondly, I have a sales course that's going to be my first on-demand self-training program that's going to take a lot of what I know and package it into a cohesive program that people can follow and be held accountable. There are worksheets. There'll be a group training component in there. And all of that will be released during the summer time frame. If by the time you listen to the show, it has been released, contact me and you'll get a promo code TAD for $50 off the investment in the program.
Oh, super.
If it hasn't been released yet, just contact me and I will notify you as soon as it has been released, because I'm working feverishly on it to get it released this summer, and I anticipate meeting that deadline.
Excellent, excellent. And I'll check that out as well. I mean, that sounds really great, and appreciate the offer. Thanks again. Really appreciate your time. Thanks everyone for listening. Have a safe and productive week, and be the very, very best at whatever it is that you're doing. Until next time, this is Tad Stevens with Micro Success Secrets. Bye for now.